Sounds like a
Absolutely
you
not.
problem.
Well, that's true.
You're welcome. No, guys, this is the first time we are showing our faces, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I,
hi.
I never had a face until now, but here you go. I
No,
was
we were never
faceless my
given
whole
one.
life.
Terrific. We were never given a face.
Yeah, never ever given a face. Till now. But, yeah, guys. Turns out we do have human faces. Wow. We're not
Yeah,
just some,
shocker.
robot thing. Whatever the fuck you want to call it.
A robot thing.
Shut up. I can't think of anything else to say. This is not the point here.
Well, then again, neither can I.
See, you're
Especially
just
with what's coming up.
exactly.
It don't matter where we go. It don't matter where we stay tonight. 'Cause when I'm with you, yeah, I know everything will be alright.
Please welcome our guest actress, Shailene Garnett. She is known for Diggstown, Mudrock Mysteries, and Shadowhunters, and a lot more.
And a lot more.
So
Those are
much.
the main.
That's just the small spectrum.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So, we're a big fan of Shadowhunters and your character, Marine. Would you like to tell us about Marine and what she was like, and if there was anything that drew you to that character?
Let me ask you, we're going to be honest, I imagine, during this conversation. What was your, first of all, did you come on board from like the jump when they were announcing who the characters were? Or did you guys come in later on?
Ellie, I'll
For
let you go
me,
first.
okay. For me, I only became a Shadowhunters fan in, I think, almost 2 years ago, because
Okay.
I've seen a lot about it online,
Okay.
and one of my friends watched it, so I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And then I met Jessica about 10 months later, and then
Yeah,
started a
like...
podcast in January and went to a con.
So Jessica, would you say you came on a little bit later on too? Is that right?
No, I started watching it. It was what? It came out 2013. That's when I started watching it. Right from day one.
Okay. So did you read the books?
No, we're getting there. We're getting
Okay,
there.
no, I bring this up. I have a point to make. So a lot of people were less than enthused when they found out that I was going to be Maureen. Okay.
What?
So I was going to ask, as fans, did you have an honest opinion about that? But if you guys came on a little bit later and you didn't read the books, then there's no big deal. So in the books, Maureen is like this little blonde-haired, blue-eyed, 12-year-old girl who is a huge fan of Simon. And long story short, she gets bit, she turns to this vampire queen. Okay. I am not that. I had more of an aesthetic of like Maya, who is this werewolf who's maybe closer to my age, but creatively they merged the two, and then I came about and I was Maureen. And when I was announced, a lot of people, like I watched social media for 24 hours straight, just like bashing the choice. So I finally reached out to, there's two girls in particular who were like, hey, it might not be that bad. Let's give her a chance. And I'm like, hey guys, listen, I know I'm not aesthetically the look that you guys have in mind, nor is it for me, because I read the books and I did love the books. But I promise I'm gonna bring you the best Maureen that I possibly can. You're gonna love her. It's gonna be great. And that's when it took a turn. Like people were a little bit more they're more accepting of this version. That only lasted, I think, season 1. And then behind the scenes there's like creative differences and there was a total revamp. And then I was not there anymore. So I love Maureen. I think it was a fun character to play. But I wanted to speak to the actual fans to see what you guys genuinely thought about it.
I mean, I personally thought
No.
it was awesome. I mean, I think you played her really well. I know there's a lot of controversy with like between the show and the books because a lot of
The
people have
books, and
that.
then the
Yeah,
season 1 and season onwards, yeah,
yeah, there was
it was a mess.
so much issues with that. But I honestly liked the way you played her. I think it was awesome. I liked the whole conspiracy theorist part of you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So you'd have to repeat your question. I kind of forgot what it was, but I think it was like, what did I like about the role or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was Shadowhunters, and I love the books. It was an opportunity. Sorry.
It's okay.
And honestly, I was about to audition for. They were going to make a movie. They're going to make a second, because it was a movie first, and I think it was the second movie that they were going to come out with that I was about to audition for. And the day that I was leaving for the audition, they canceled. The whole project got scrapped. So when the show came around, I already felt really connected to it. I felt like, okay, if it's gonna come around a second time, it's totally meant to be. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be great, and it was. And I had fun. I had fun while I was on it. You know, there's Shadowhunters. Come on, guys. The
Right?
books
Yeah,
were
true.
great. Yeah, read the books. The books, honestly, the books were, I would say, better only because they're more detailed. You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
weren't confined to like 45 minutes or whatever the show was in order to squeeze it all in.
Well, that and I think the other issue too with the show was that I know you guys didn't get full rights to anything with the books either, so that was part of the issue. So there was a lot of stuff you guys kind of had to improvise. Well, we can't use this, so we'll try this instead and hope it works.
And then also the like diversity, a lot of especially at that time, people were moving way more into diverse casting. So the characters, when you read the books, you'll see like they're described a lot differently. All of them, all of them. And I mean personally, I think the casting was fantastic. Like I'm not even speaking as myself. I'm speaking as a fan of the show. The main cast I think was fantastically cast, as diverse as they were. You know, Emerald and Alberto and everyone there. But I don't know. That's just the realities of like translating books to TV. They just have to meet a different audience.
Yeah, and I think they tried to stick to kind of like where the books came from. They tried to stick to that age range where it originally started. And they're like, okay, well, let's try to demographically go. I think they started at like 45-year-old males is what they were targeting or something like that. Yeah. I looked it up. That's what they were
What?
targeting. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. And I'm like, okay, that's a little weird, but
Oh, I never would have thought that. Oh, I wouldn't know. I had no idea. Wow. Wow. That brings in a whole like My Little Pony vibe now that I think about it.
yeah, pretty much.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, all the bronies
Wow.
and stuff out there. Yeah. Never ends.
Well, anyone I've interacted with and everyone I've seen who's like majorly fan of the show, I never saw any 45-year-old men. It's been like mostly girls, young adults. Yeah, I don't think I've met a single male Shadowhunters fan that I've interacted with.
Yeah, I haven't
Interesting.
either at the con, so it's just kind of weird. I'm like,
No.
that's your target? Okay. I mean, I guess.
Right.
Ellie, did you want to do the next question?
So let me ask you this:
Okay,
who
go
are
ahead.
your favorite characters?
I
What do you
have
guys
to
like about the show?
leave. No, I'm just kidding. No, mine is Jace.
Come on.
That's my go-to.
Yeah. As the
Mine
actors, as a character.
As a what? Sorry.
As the actors, like you like the actor or you like the characters?
I like both.
The character.
Yeah, I think like
Yeah.
I think personally I actually have more of his personality, oddly enough. So just kind of
Oh,
fits
really?
the way. Yeah.
A lot of it.
Okay.
Have you guys met anybody at these cons? Have you guys got to meet any of the cast?
Yeah, actually. We met all of them when they were there. There was Dom, Alberto, Kat, Nicola. I'm forgetting somebody. I don't
Matt.
remember who the last one is. Oh, Matt. And what was the other one?
Yeah. Is Emerald
Well-
there? No.
But yeah, we met most of them, and they're all really cool to talk to. I had a long conversation
Yeah.
with Nicola. It was kind of cool. It went from a
Oh, good.
20
That's
people
good.
group to a one-on-one conversation. So it was kind of nice.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it was really
Wow.
cool.
That's really sweet.
Ellie, do you want to talk about your favorite character?
Yeah, my favorite character is Alec, and just like Jessica, I share some personality traits with him.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's good.
Yeah,
It's really great. It's really great to see, like, on the receiving end, what your takeaway is from the show. Because from us, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I read the script, I read the book, I can do the best I can. And I mean, I watch TV, especially shows I've been in, with a different eye, because I know what the behind the scenes was. I know, like, what was happening on that particular day when I was doing something. So I don't watch it with, like, the full scope of that imagination that everyone has. So it's really great to see the feedback that you guys get, or like how you really do identify with characters and stuff like that. It's good. It's reassuring.
yeah,
Yeah, I think there are some things that Ellie and I have talked about a lot with the show, and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, that's really cool. Like season one was okay. Like there was a lot of work that needed to be like put in to make it a lot better, because there was definitely some things that are like, what? But because there was a
Usually
scene in,
first seasons are.
yeah, it was really rough, but then like after that, about like halfway through season 2 to 3 got really good. But it was just a lot of hiccups. But that's with any show.
Yeah.
yeah. I think season one was more about finding your footing and what the show was about and where the writers and people were going with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I said, there was a lot of I guess creative differences, because the vision that they had for season 2 originally completely changed the second season when it actually aired. So it's interesting because you don't really know what goes on behind the scenes until you hear about it, or you're actually
Yeah.
in. Because I guess on the receiving end, like you said, you only saw improvements. It only got better, but you didn't see like the fight to get there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like I've always been curious about like the behind the scenes and how that all works, because it's just a lot of like, oh well, yeah, this is the episode, and everyone's like, wait, that's not what we discussed. But
So, speaking about behind the scenes and playing Maureen, what was the audition process like? Did you have to prepare in any way for the role? Or...
Okay. Okay, this is a good story, I think. The audition process itself, I mean, it was just pretty standard. You come in, you do the lines. I got a callback. I think I had 2 callbacks. So basically, think of like finalists, semifinalists, right? And I did the final audition, and then I got a phone call from my agent saying, hey, the role is yours if you're willing to cut your hair.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
So I'm like,
wow.
and at that time my hair was like super long, super curly, and I had never like done anything drastic at that point. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, yes, yes. So I got the job, and I called my mom like hysterically crying, because at that point this was the biggest job I've ever booked. It was for a show. Look, a lot of the times when you audition for shows, when you book a show, you do it for the work, not, and then you grow to love the show. You don't do it because you already know the show and love it, or the series. I loved the series and I booked the show. So I called my mom crying, like frantic.
Oh,
Like, I can't understand you. I can't understand you. What's wrong? Oh, here we go. It says losing connection. It's gonna cut out and come right back. So anyways, I booked the job, super long, curly, luscious hair, and I walk into the trailer on day 1, and my hairstylist had these super long locks, and he looks at me because he knew what he had to do to my hair, and he's like, oh no, and he's like, I'm so sorry, and so he just took the scissors, he just like from here or wherever, just cut, and then he shaved. Which side was it? I think it was this side.
yeah, I
He
think
just
it was that side, yeah.
shaved. And honestly, it was like the coolest thing I've ever done at that time. And since then, I actually kept my hair. I mean, this is long for me in the last like 5-6 years. I'm ready to cut it again.
wow.
It's been great. So anyways, I was behind the scene process. The audition was pretty standard, but like I said, I was really excited to do it. And that was it. Then it was just prep, like playing the keyboard. I had a couple lessons. Singing, I had a couple, like, to record for the song that we did, like the 30 seconds of the song that Alberto and I did. But that was it. I mean, it's pretty standard. It's not that interesting when you're on the side of it. It's really not.
Like, this
You
is
know?
normal for me. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to make it more exciting than it is.
No, I can imagine it's just like another job for you. Just
Well, let's clarify. I have never sobbed upon receiving news that I booked a job before. This was the first time I've done it. I had done it. And I'm talking like hysterics. Like, my mom thought the worst had happened. And I'm like, I booked the job, you know? So this was quite special. That was really special to me. And then also, this was the only job that I've actually, like, really interacted, because I'm telling you, the fandom, I've never experienced a fandom like that on any other show I've been on, or any other show that I'm even a fan of. You guys are just so, like, interactive with each other and super, super supportive of the actual actor beyond the character. So that was really fun. I had an instant. I'm trailing, but here we go. I had a situation where someone in my family was really, really ill. I had a kid in my family, and I reached out to the fandom. I was like, look, you know, thank you so much for the fan art you're sending me, but can you kind of redirect it to him, just so he feels like he's not so alone? And I mean, I was getting packages from all over the world. You know what I mean? For him. And it definitely helped lift his spirits up a little bit. And I really feel like the fandom was with me during that really difficult time. And I could reach out and they would check in, hey, how's he doing? You know, through the good and the bad. And it's like, Shadowhunters fans will always have my heart because of that. And the show will always have my heart because of that. You know, so it wasn't just another job. Like, in hindsight, it was a very, very, very special job for me. Yeah.
I find with the Shadowhunters fans and the cast, like, they're very close knit. Like,
yeah, it seems that way. Yeah. Well, you have to understand though, when you shoot, like, a lot of them came from the US and they're living in Canada for, I don't know, I want to say 3, maybe 4 months. I really don't remember how long I was shooting for. But by the time I got onto the show, and I was in episode 1, they had already been there at least 2 or 3 weeks away from their homes, bonding with each other. And I'm sure, like, you know, when you're out of town or you go on a trip or you go on, like, these group excursions and you have no one else but yourselves, you become really tight knit. And that was very evident. And I think that translates to on the screen, because they're all like interconnected in the show. And I think that did a really it definitely benefited them to have that off-screen relationship.
Yeah, I think that actually was very, very evident. I think that it showed really well, especially with Alec and Jace, their connection. I know they had to, behind the scenes, figure out how to pronounce the word parabatai because it was never said before until the show.
Oh,
so yeah, it was interesting. Okay, that leads us to our next question. And what was it like working on set?
How do I tell you this without making it seem like, oh, it's so generic? Let's say it was fun, but it always is fun. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I'll answer the question, but let me ask you this. What's your profession? You're in healthcare?
Yeah. I'm an EMT.
That's like me. You're an EMT?
Yeah.
Okay, that to me is so fascinating. I would ask you, like, I would switch this interview around in a heartbeat and be like, oh my God, what's the whatever? I'd ask all these questions. But it's like, well, what's a regular day at work? If you don't get any emergency calls, I imagine you're driving around in the ambulance, you kind of restock your stuff. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what you do, but, like, how do you make your day-to-day tasks sound exciting?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Right?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
So I can say on set it was great. I mean, everyone was lovely. Everyone, like you said, everyone's really close knit. There's a lot of, like, fun. Who had the dog? Kat had a little puppy she would bring on set. I think we had a couple photos of the dog. Like, you know what I mean? It was just long days, but good people. We had snacks. We have snacks on set. We have trailers. I can sleep in my trailer. We have makeup. We have, like, it's all the standard. It sounds exciting. It really is, I guess. but it's when you do it every day at that time. I don't know how to make it sound exciting.
That's fair.
But I will say, look, okay, I'm being facetious, but to the point, look, I've been on other sets that were miserable. So to that experience, Shadowhunters was complete opposite. It was fun. I was excited, you know?
Yeah. And it
And it's
makes
cool because that, sorry, say it again.
Sorry, it makes a difference when you've got like people you can have fun with, but are hardworking and actually care about what they're doing. And
Especially true because so Shadowhunters, what was the actual? Is that the name of the book? Hold on, I'm blanking right now.
Mortal Instruments,
so
City of Bones.
Mortal, yes, thank you. So they already had a fan base, so it was cool and unique for the show compared to other shows I've been on because in real time you have fans anticipating everything and really excited to see anything. So I went to set one day before I was announced, and Alberto had taken a selfie, right, in the background there, and he posted it, and it was just fun to watch in real time. Like anytime you're on set, people speculating, people getting excited. Anytime you post anything to kind of not really shock fans, but to play around to kind of tease the audience, it was immediate feedback. Whereas when you do a show, typically you wait 6 months to a year before it's even aired, and then before people can start watching it and then responding to it. So that was different, and that was fun. The energy was different because of that.
Yeah, I think that creates a whole different environment when you're actually able to, get feedback much sooner than having to wait 6 months later. You're like, well, there's nothing I can do about it now, as opposed to like, hey, I
That's
could
just
fix
it.
this much sooner.
That's just it, And then even to build compassion, like I'm telling you, people, if I didn't reach out to any of those fans prior to me starting to work, I would not have been as well received or as protected as I was. And it's not to say that I was the best character, maybe the best casting choice, because obviously I got recast or that I got revamped. But it's like, man, I swear I can't speak any more highly of the Shadowhunter fans. I cannot do it. They're incredible. You guys are incredible.
I think it also a nod to the cast as well. Like it's a reflection of them because you guys are so incredible and it shows that you would do anything for us. Like I remember reading about it on Twitter that a convention had got cancelled and all the fans showed up, the actors showed up. But Matt actually went around New York by himself, taking pictures of fans, hunting fans down on Twitter and everything.
Oh,
Just
I didn't know
completely
about that. Oh, that's really great. That's so great. Come on now.
Yeah.
But I think it's a definite energy exchange. It's a give and take. And when you have one group supporting the other, like you can only lift each other up. So that makes a lot of sense. Because like if you guys, or let's not talk about Shadows, but if any other show where fans were completely dogging on the show, I can't expect the actors to be doing the same thing, going above and beyond.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg, but the fans, well, I guess in this case, the book came first, but the book, as well written as it was, became, created that foundation of the fans. And then I don't know, just the interaction. I don't know what's different about it. It's just such a great, respectful, interactive group. I don't know what else to say about you guys. Like, I'm fanning over the fandom. Like, come on.
Roles of reverse.
Apparently, yeah.
Oh my god. I'm gonna write fan fiction now about the fandom.
Yeah. So you said you read the books. Are there any scenes from the books that you wish would have been on the show, especially for Maureen?
Yes. We shot. So there's a scene I told you where Maureen gets bitten by Simon. It's so long now, I can't imagine there's any spoilers, but Simon bites Maureen and then she becomes like the queen of the vamps. And we shot that. We shot a scene very similar. We're outside. Simon shows up late for a date with Maureen. Because remember, it was a little bit different where it was structured where Maureen really, really liked Simon, but Simon really, really liked Clary. And Simon only viewed Maureen as his best friend. So it was like this really complicated love triangle. And the scene we shot that didn't air was Simon showed up. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. There's like food trucks. We're outside. I was eating. I'm so sorry. And we had this little exchange. Like, look, if you don't want to do this, we don't have to do this. Date, I think it was. I think we were dating at the time, but he obviously wasn't really into it. And then we made up, and he was about to bite me. And then we stopped, like we cut. And that would have set up the trajectory for season 2, where this version of Maureen would have turned into like it would have been more true to the books.
Yeah.
But what they ended up doing was they didn't air that scene, and then they, like I said, they did the revamp. And then they cast Alicia, I think, to play Maya. And then they also cast, I'm not really sure the young girl's name, but they had I'm blanking so hard. But then they recast the fairy god to be more like Maureen-like in her childness, and still the ruler of, you know. So that's where they kind of like creatively brought it back on track, so that they can continue more with other books, instead of my being Maureen's, like the book Maureen's storyline. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, you know, no hard feelings. That's just what it is.
So, do you think Maureen would have figured out the Shadow World by herself, just by her conspiracy theories alone?
If I had the time to play that, yeah, for sure, I think she would have, because it was definitely set up where, like you said, she was very much in it, in the mix. She was very much like not okay with just being pacified with simple answers or actions. So yeah, I think definitely she would have become a little bit obsessive and figured it out one way or the other, whether or not she got bitten, became part of the underworld, or, you know, by proxy.
Yeah, see, I think that's like really interesting too, because I was really wanting them to explore that route, because she was like all in it. She's like, well, there's this theory and this theory, and it's like, well, let's explore that more. And they barely touched on a lot of the theories and fables and stuff, which sucks.
Well, you have to understand, I think I only had like 4 or 5 episodes, and that basically went from hey, let's party and I like you, to jumping to like, I'm waking up in bed with you and you're calling me the wrong name, to I'm getting kind of booted out of the band or out of the relationship or whatever it was via phone call. So there wasn't a, like, again, it has nothing to do, well, let me be careful. I don't want to say it has nothing to do with me, because I don't know, but I can tell you that, like, it's bigger. Like, actors, though we're the face of a show, we only have so much say. So I can't walk up to anyone and be like, hey, keep writing me in, keep me in the show.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. We're talking about producers, we're talking about creatives, we're talking about networks, we're talking about other people on a much higher level who are doing whatever they're doing because of whatever they're doing it. I heard it was because of the author, but I can't verify that. Like, it was a while ago. But I think it could have been fun. I think there could have, of course, in any situation with every character, there could have been, it's always there could have been more. There could have been really fun storylines to explore, for sure. Or even in the book, like, as little, like, Maureen's presence in the book is so small compared to the series, and they were really stretching it out to my benefit, which I'm really appreciative of, because I had that time, you know. I forget the question.
It's okay. Ellie, do you want to tackle the next question?
I think it's like the conspiracy, right? When I
yeah.
Yeah. Short answer. I'll keep the short answers. Yes. The short answer is yes. She would have figured it out one way or another.
Have you seen this video?
No, I haven't. What is it?
Just watch it.
Introducing Shailene Garnett's Instagram account at ShaileneG. And Shailene Garnett's Twitter account at ShaileneG.
I can't believe we have these two competitors tonight. It's going to be a rough match, Hannah.
I know, I can't believe it. I've heard Insta is pretty tough. Still holds the championship after last year. Not sure how Twitter will handle this one, Leia.
To be fair, Twitter's really stuck it out this year. She's earned her spot.
Please welcome the heavyweight champion, Insta! And please welcome her opponent, Twitter!
Seems like the crowd has really taken a liking to Twitter this year.
To be fair, Insta's fought dirty this year. Throwing punches when the ref wasn't looking.
Breaking every rule possible.
Oh, and there's a left uppercut to the ref. I can say we never saw it coming from Twitter at all.
That's insane. Normally it's Insta breaking the rules. They wanted a fighting chance, so gotta play the same game, Leia.
It's hard to say who's rooting for who, but I know my bet's on Insta.
I don't think Insta stands a chance this year, considering that Twitter's won a few more matches this year. Oh, did you see that? Insta pushing back. It's gonna be hard for Twitter to recover from that hit.
Twitter's getting back up.
It's gonna be close.
Oh my.
Instagram just completely knocked out Twitter with one sidekick to the face.
Well, Insta's done it again.
I'm not surprised.
That's bound to damage Twitter's ego.
I think it's safe to say we have a winner.
And still, your heavyweight champion, Instagram!
Tune in next week for a match between Shailene's Instagram and Shailene's TikTok at Shailene G.
So, would you have liked a different ending for Marine on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked it not to end for me on the show. It would have been fantastic. You know, because look, I was excited. We had the original showrunner speaking very excitedly about season 2 and what that would have looked like for me. I think if they stuck with the same showrunner from season 1, I think my it would have been very different from what he was talking about. But yeah, at least one more episode of like my face to just kind of have closure, and that would have been cool instead of a second-handed hey, hello? Oh yeah, wait, what? Okay, yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Back to business. You know, it was so
Yeah.
quick and so like you miss it. You know, it's like if you didn't pay attention, and I only paid attention because I was talking to somebody in the room, and they're like, "Oh, your name was brought up in the script," so I was kind of waiting to get brought in, and they never brought me in, and the season ended, and it's like, okay, so I watched it, and I think it was like Clary and Simon had something going on, and then Simon gets interrupted by a phone call. Oh, that's what it was. Simon gets interrupted by a phone call, and you don't hear the other end. You just hear the one side of like, I guess I broke up with him. Like, hey, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? Can I still have the band name or whatever? Like, can I still keep the band name? And then okay, click, hang up, and you know, I would have done it differently, obviously. But
Yeah. I mean, I think it would have been interesting to see Maureen in season 3 with Heidi in there. I think that would have been really interesting because they put her as the one that he bit first. And I feel like that would have been really interesting if they actually, Simon and Maureen stuck together, how that would have ended.
Well, consider like I look very much aesthetically like Maya. So I don't think you can have both me and Alicia on. Me playing Maureen and Alicia playing Maya like you did. It would have had to been one or the other. And I think I got written into a corner, you know, because looking how I look, I think I don't want to say should have, but I would have been more appropriately cast as Maya from the beginning. Okay, not to say I wish Alicia wasn't or anything, not to say that at all, but just how I look, I would have been better cast or better suited for Maya, who has a much larger role in the series. Like her storyline is just more fleshed out. So I don't see how they could have had both of us, me looking as I do, playing Maureen, and then having Maya to continue the Maya storyline, because Maya and Jordan carried through, I believe, season 2 and season 3.
I
And at
believe
least
so,
in the
yeah.
series was a huge storyline that like entangled Simon in that situation. So as much as Maureen was like the queen of the vamps or whatever, it wasn't, it was kind of like a third storyline as opposed to like a main storyline. So I just don't, it would have been cool, sure, but it couldn't have been me playing Maureen if that was the case. You know?
Yeah. I could see how
Yeah, it
that'd be
would have
kind of
been,
confusing.
yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, things happen. It happens the way it does. And I think Alicia was fantastic. And I watched the show and I was a huge fan. It couldn't have been both of us. And that's fine. You know, that's just TV.
That's true. No,
Yeah.
I think part of the issue that I've had too with the show is like kind of like what you were saying, where it's not just like, oh, like here's my exit. No, she's like, okay, yeah, bye. It's like, wait, what? Like they're
Yeah.
gone. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
You know, look, I've look, it's not my first exit. You know, I've had exits where I was like on the strain, I was like shot in the eye and I was like done. You know, there's no chance coming back, right? I've had exits where I like died in a plane crash. There's no chance of me coming back. I've died quite a bit. So breaking up over a phone call where you only hear one side of the conversation, I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
You're like, that's pretty tame compared to what I've been through. So
It's pretty tame, and I'm okay with that. You know.
At least
Yeah.
Maureen's alive.
that's
So
true.
we know, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
They can have a reboot in 20 years, and I'll come back and like tell you what happened to me.
Yeah, I'll see it. Let's go. I'll do it.
Yeah.
We actually started writing our own version of season 4. We thought that'd be kind of
Are you
interesting to do.
serious?
Yeah, we're
Wow.
serious.
What's that looking like? Like, what's the storyline?
Oh gosh. Well, Jace is obviously heartbroken about Clary being gone, and we were kind of thinking of going the route where she starts to get her memories back more. She kind of comes back into the picture. And then Sizzy happens. Simon and Izzy.
Yeah.
Still don't understand that
I
couple,
like
but
You don't.
they're so
You don't
weird.
understand it, really.
They're so
You know
polar
what it is?
opposites. What?
No, it's like Penny and Leonard from Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah, yeah, the weird.
So it does make sense in a weird way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
Okay.
But
I like them. I dig them. I particularly like the there's like an alternate reality when they're like normal. Do you remember that?
Oh
yeah.
I remember watching that and I that makes more sense. That makes more sense to me. Or actually they're probably like Veronica and Archie from Riverdale.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see
Oh,
that.
Right? Yeah. It's more of like this Vixen and the nerd type of thing, but except maybe more Archie comics, not Riverdale. But yeah, no, I really like Sizzy. I really like Sizzy.
Simon weirds me out the most, but yeah.
Does he?
Yeah,
In the
he's
book
so
or in the
weird.
show?
In the show, he's so weird. No, he's just so like off the third wall, but I mean it works.
I thought he was cool. I thought they hired like a cooler version of Simon compared to the books.
I've heard about Alberto's audition process. It was kind of funny. Because they're like, oh,
What
you're
was it?
perfect for him. Because he went off to go get something. There's like a cereal bar or something. And they're like, we've been looking for you, man. And he's like, oh. Like, it was like a whole thing. Like, it's
Oh,
pretty
wow.
funny. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
So, we are nearing the end, but we wanted to ask you something because we're big fans of the paranormal, and we were wondering if
Okay.
you are fans of anything paranormal at all, or if you believe.
That's a tricky question. Am I a fan? Okay, well, let's put it this way: Paranormal Activity or any like movies that have to do with supernatural, no, paranormal. terrify me. Terrify me. And I'm terrified of the idea of ghosts, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Do I
but
believe? Maybe I
Yeah.
do. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I have an arrangement. I'm like, listen, if ghosts exist, that's great. I don't want them in my realm. I don't want them making themselves known. I don't want things like floating by without people holding. I don't want to know about it. That terrifies me. So, do I believe? I must. Right?
yeah.
Do I like? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm terrified. You know, like I don't want to hear. I had this I had this babysitting job one time, and I was convinced that they had ghosts in the house. And I babysat for them 3 times. And the second time I walked in, I was like, I had salt in my back pocket, I had all my crystals in my pockets, and I walked and I said quietly to myself, I'm like, look, I'm just here to babysit. You don't trouble me. I won't trouble you. I'll be out of the way as soon as the parents come home. Please don't let me be like, don't let me know you're here. So I think I must believe, yes. I guess the short answer is yes, I believe. But no, I don't want them like mingling or interacting or letting, no, I don't want to let them. Scary thought.
That's funny.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah. We actually are strong believers. I grew up in a household where we did a lot of that on the side. So
Like Ouija boards?
oh no, I do not touch anything dark
No.
like that. I won't.
Okay.
That's just
Yeah.
bad juju right there. No,
Right.
it's more of we would do like house clearings, clearing on people and clearing the lands and helping spirits move on and things like that. It was funny because when I went to England, we shot a Spirit Box episode. So we literally just uploaded that. So it's kind of funny and the fact that you're terrified of them, but
I'm all for like saging and clearing and stuff. I just don't want you to say, oh, there's like, little Rebecca got lost and she can't find her way from the 1900s. She's haunting your house. Like, whatever it is, I don't want to know about that. Clear it, but don't tell me what you're clearing. Like, I want to walk in the house and be like, we're good. Sanctuary, and I'm good. I'm good. Don't let me know. Don't let me know what's around. No. I can't do it. No.
yeah, because we were at Ellie's house when we shot that stuff, and I have this app called the Spirit Talker, and it has an EMF reader on it. It's a little different than a normal EMF because it has a more, it was like up to 7, I think. And when I used it at my house, we only got up to like a 2. But when I went to her house, it shot all the way up, maxed out. It was like, whoa, it was crazy.
And
Yeah.
and are you sure there's no like interference? Like it doesn't like modems or anything that doesn't mess with it?
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure because it was kind of funny because it had to do. We were talking about her grandfather who passed away, and then I got to the point where he was like in my face, and I'm like, okay, bro, you gotta like back off. And the moment he backed off, all of a sudden that EMF dropped to nothing. It was gone.
No. That is precisely what I'm not okay with. Like these can be the loved ones, and we love you, Grandpa, and like my grandma and all these people, but no. I have a hard rule: do not let yourself be known. I don't know.
Like, don't come
They
near
could
me.
stand over there watching me for all I care, but as long as I don't hear footsteps, I don't see anything floating, I don't hear any doors banging by themselves or creaking open. No, I don't want any of that stuff. I don't know how you do it.
Oh,
Even
I mean,
hearing about it, the creeps.
when I was in Oregon quite a few years back, we did a big clearing, and it was a big like demon, and you could actually hear this thing screaming off in the distance as we were outside trying to clear this thing. It was crazy.
Have you ever who do you clear with? Like who is this that you do this with?
Mostly family actually. We're like family oriented and we're really close and we do it all together. And Ellie's part of
You
this
guys
now
need a
too.
reality show. You guys need a reality show. I might watch with the volume low.
With the lights
If you
on.
have the sound,
Yeah,
on, if
no.
you do.
Oh my gosh. This doesn't freak you out? Like you never had any like tell me
Not
more.
really.
I mean, when I was a kid, it freaked me out all the time. There was a guy I dated in high school, And I was over at his house, and I went down. I'm like, oh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a drink. I went downstairs, and I got my drink, and I started going upstairs. You could hear this thing chasing after me up the stairs. You just thump, thump, thump behind me. I'm like, oh, I'm like, run. And so I, like, ran up the stairs and ran back in the room. I'm like, get me out of here.
See, I do that automatically. Like, you know, you turn off the light in the basement, you have to, like, sprint up the
Yep.
stairs, close, there's something
Yeah.
behind me. Like, I know if I stopped and said, okay, nothing would happen. But it's just the idea of the dark behind your back. I never liked that. Oh, man. I can't hang with you guys. I can't do it.
We had a paranormal experience at the Shadowhunters con.
What happened? What happened?
It was quite a small room where we were staying in, and you'd have the room, and then it would go off into the hallway and the front door. And there was this hallway light, and the switch was off. Wasn't it, Jess?
You had it
Or was it?
on, because you turned it on because you
Okay.
went and used the tiny, like, airport bathroom. Bathroom's so
Oh,
small,
yeah.
bro. It was horrible. But yeah, no,
So
you
what
happened?
go ahead.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, the switch was on, and we were just sat on the bed, just probably playing a game or something, and just talking. And then suddenly the light turned off, even though the switch was on.
Oh, no.
And it stayed off. And then about half an hour later, it came back on again by itself.
Do you guys feel like you guys are attracting these spirits because you guys are so open to receiving these experiences? Because I'm not. So I don't think any ghosts are lining up to come try to talk to me.
I think a lot of it too is it's not so much I want them in my face. I don't. Like, I've actually had spirits come up to me and be like, "You can see me," and I'm like, "Nope, nope, I don't see you. Nope, there's nobody here."
Can you
Like,
actually physically see them,
yes,
or you hear them, or what's
both. I can do both. Yeah,
they
and
look like
it's
people but see through?
it depends. There's times where it's a little more obvious for me to tell, like, okay, yeah, you're a spirit. But then there's times where I'll be driving and it looks like there's a person running out in the middle of the road. So I go to slam on my brakes and there's nobody there. It's like, don't give me that heart attack, man. Like,
That's
it's
actually
crazy.
really interesting, and I wish I could hang enough to experience that, but no, I don't want to see that in real life.
No, but back to your question. I think it also, for me, anyways, since I consider it a light being is what I am, and since we project so much positive light on us, anything like spiritual wise, like spirits, anything even negative, is like, oh hey, there's a light, let me go to it, and they like gravitate towards you, even if you don't want them in your face. A lot of it too is
Interesting.
spirits are lost, and they're like, hey, like you're the light, right? I can go up to heaven through you, right? I'm like, no, bro, no, not through me,
Like,
not
not
through
today.
me, no,
All my
no.
people. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to go because he's getting up,
No
and I don't
worries.
want him screaming.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
But-
Thank you. This was really fun chatting with you guys.
Yeah, it was awesome.
you.
We'd love to have you back on
Yeah.
here sometime. That was awesome.
Let me know.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
I'm
done.
gonna hop off. Have a great day.
You too.
And
You
evening.
too.
You
All right,
too.
bye.
Bye. Well, guys, this has been a crazy episode. We've been so excited to film this.
Yep.
Like, we've been anxiously waiting, like, all week. Well, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, however long it's been. I don't even know. It's all a blur.
I think it's been a week.
It's all a blur. I don't know. Everything happened so fast. But no, that was Shailene Garnett, and that was a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, I mean, we'll give you guys your socials and all that stuff. Get that sent out to you. And yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We did. We thought it was
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah, we did.
Enjoyed every second of it. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for tuning in and watching. We could actually say watching this time
Yeah,
because
we
hey,
can actually say it.
you watched
The-
this one, or listen to it on Spotify, whatever. This will be on
Yeah.
YouTube, so check it out too. But yeah, no. We hope you guys also enjoyed this face reveal too,
Yeah.
because that's
We
big
didn't-
as well.
Yeah, we didn't choose anything small for the face reveal. We just went completely big.
Full swing. It wouldn't be me
Literally.
if I did something small. Come on, man.
No, that's true. I mean, your first
flight was to
Vacation
England.
and-
Come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, we
Yep.
had a lot of fun doing this, and thank you again, Shailene, for joining us on that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely not the direction I expected it to go, but
No.
hey, like, it was
But
awesome.
We really enjoyed having you on here.
Yeah, and we look forward to possibly having you on here again. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, thank you guys, and goodbye.
Bye.
Alright, when I'm